I am a survivor of domestic violence. Back in 2012, I was kidnapped with my daughter. Currently in my relationship with my boyfriend. I didn't seem to think that it would turn for the worse because things kind of rapidly went a little bit too fast between us in the relationship. Basically, when I practically had to move out of my apartment in the beginning of the year, it was basically, I think it was January 1st, back in 2012. He offered me to move with him into his room. He offered that he was going to be able to help me and I would be able to find an apartment for me and my kids, and he was going to help me financially. One thing led to another. In that room, in the process, in the midst of me being in that room, being held captive against my will for a whole 6 months, almost 7 months, he tortured me. The neighbors, so we was staying where we was staying. I was like a roomie apartment where people shared rooms. Everybody had their own room. It was kind of like a railroad apartment. So we had one room, and the other rooms were being rented. At the time, there was other individuals that were living in that apartment, and I believe they heard my screams and my cries. That I believe they called the cops, and they was able to tell the cops a description of what was really going on. They basically told them that they just heard a girl crying, and it sounded like the girl was crying for a long time. When the cops arrived, it took them a whole hour to get into that room. But that was my way out once those cops walked in. I was definitely scared. I didn't think they was gonna believe me because of the conditions that I was under. I was duct taped, I was bound. At the moment when they walked in, I wasn't duct taped because he heard the cops was behind the door, so he tried to hurry up and throw out any evidence that he had. So just by them seeing me, I didn't think that they was gonna believe me. I didn't believe that they was gonna believe me. So I was afraid. I was scared for my daughter. I was scared that, after this I might not see my daughter again because, under the circumstances that they found me under, I was just afraid. I was really scared. It was hard. Very, very hard. It was hard for me to trust, to gain that trust with people. I looked at everybody as the enemy. I didn't believe anybody. So it was hard. In the beginning, it was hard. But once I seen that they actually believed in me and believed everything that I was telling them, because in the midst of me being in that room, I was telling the sergeant, and I thank God for her every single day, if he sees that I tell you that he did these things to me, I'm not gonna see, he's gonna find me, he's gonna kill me. So that automatically, that just sparked something in her head, and she made it seem as if she was arresting me as well. So that kind of made me feel, okay, I am safe, but it took them a long time, it took them a long time to get me out of that room, only because I was so afraid and I didn't know what was gonna happen, and I was just kind of like stuck. I couldn't really speak, I couldn't really talk. It was just horrible. NYPD helped me in so many ways that I never thought of. I never thought that they would become a part of my family and have such an impactful, have such an impact in my life. They made sure that they never left my side. They gave me reassurance. They guided me. They made sure that when I needed them, they would be there for me at any given time. I'm pretty sure they was tired of me. But because I built this relationship with them, that's what actually helped me get through everything that I was actually going through. And I was so comfortable with coming to them and having them as my safe space, because I really found NYPD to really be my safe space. Believe survivors. Believe them. Show them the compassion that you would have if it was one of your own family members, because domestic violence doesn't really have a race or a face. It can happen to anybody. Being there for them and listening to them and just believing victims, giving them the reassurance that their voice is being heard and that there is a way out.